Did you see the video of your surgery?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Isn't that interesting?
It is.
Did that turn you off or anything? I mean, was it hard for you to watch?
No.
The inside of the eye is really a beautiful place, really, unless it has a hemorrhage in it.
Well, while I was watching, and I was sitting there thinking of remembering when I was sitting at home that night, not being able to see out of that eye at all, except just right around the outside, and it's a scary thought. It really is.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think that the operation that we've developed here over the years is the best there is for this kind of problem, and we want to publish that, an article about it, including the video, and that's why I've asked you to come in, because, you know, really it's the person behind the eye that we're trying to help, right? And you're that person, and so what you have to say is therefore inordinately important to us. Approximately May 22nd, you suddenly lost vision in the left eye. Would you tell me about that?
Well,
That was 6 months ago now. How did that happen? How did you notice it?
well, I went out to take some trash out, and it was almost dark. And as I turned around, I don't know what made me do it. Is, you know, I do this as a matter of fact a lot, but I realized I couldn't see in that left eye.
So then 2 days after you noticed it, we did an operation. When did you notice after surgery that you were starting to see better straight ahead? Was it within days or a couple of weeks?
It was within days.
Just within a few days?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is the picture of the hemorrhage. Can you show that to us?
Sure. It's scary, isn't it?
It is scary. I imagine it was scary for you. Now take this one for me, and
Okay.
and keep the hemorrhage.
Oh, okay.
And this is the one in which you saw 2020, and that was 3 months after surgery. You saw 2020.
And I can still see. I think I can still see 2020.
Can you hold those two up together?
I can.
Isn't that something?
It is. It's.
See, that blood clot is right in the center of your vision. And what we've done is move it to the bottom part of your eye, where you really didn't know. And now it's gone away, but if we hadn't moved it out of the center of vision, you would have had scar tissue there almost certainly.
Okay.
Is your left eye see almost as good as your right eye now?
Actually, my left eye seeing a little bit better than my right eye.
If your left eye had been left like that, I mean, if you covered your right eye when you had that hemorrhage, what could you do? Would you be able to even? You couldn't even get in and out of a room with that kind of darkness in the street?
Probably not, because it was just, all I could see was around the rim.
I see.
And the thing about it is, I was a school librarian and volunteer in my church library, and so books and books and books, and that's the scary part, that not being able to read and I live by myself, and I would hate to think that I had to have somebody with me and not being able to go and go to the grocery store or whatever when I need to.
Yes. Okay, well, congratulations on your vision.
Thank
coming
you.
back to 2020.
Yes, thank you.
Not bad, huh?
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. We've developed a new operation that can remove hemorrhage from under the macula in age-related macular degeneration. Macular hemorrhage is often a sudden and catastrophic development in macular degeneration. As we go inside the eye, we see the optic nerve, and to the right of that we see the macula, a pinhead-sized spot that is responsible for all detail vision. In this patient, there's been a sudden massive hemorrhage under the macula that has abruptly blocked all central vision. If this hemorrhage were left in place, a large scar would take its place, and this eye would be forever legally blind. Instead, we've gone into the eye and we are removing the vitreous gel, and some white steroid is placed to show us the vitreous. In our new M&M operation, we not only inject a clot buster into the clot, but we inject large amounts of balanced salt solution as well into the clot in several areas. Here we are hydrating the clot or mobilizing it, first superiorly, then inferiorly. We're going through the transparent retina into the clot and gradually injecting more and more fluid, creating an intentional retinal detachment. We've now created a large detachment inferotemporally so that the macular blood clot can be moved out of the macula into a peripheral location at the bottom of the eye. This large blister of fluid distinguishes our M&M vitrectomy from previous smaller efforts. Now finally we inject air under the retina to lift the retina up off of the blood clot. This air will go away eventually, but initially it lifts the retina up and helps cleave the retina from the blood clot. This is the end of the retina surgery, and now we're injecting air into the eye to fill half the vitreous cavity. This vitreous cavity air bubble will eventually move the clot out of the macula when the patient turns face down. Then we come out of the eye. After surgery, we instruct the patient to lay face up for 3 hours, then 45 degrees head elevated for an additional 3 hours, during which time the subretinal air lifts the retina and the blood clot moves toward the bottom of the eye. Finally, the patient looks face down overnight with periodic rest breaks. On the first day, one can see that there's no more hemorrhage in the macula. The blood is now down at the bottom, and the vitreous cavity air bubble still covers most of the macula. 3 months later, the retina has resumed its normal position, and the macular hemorrhage is completely gone. Visual acuity has returned to the pre-hemorrhage level of 20/20. OCT scans show that we're back to where we were before the hemorrhage ever happened. Wonderful result, restoring reading vision.